Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. No, I'm just kidding. We're back. Yes, sir. Big slate of hockey. Uh-huh. Also, the reason I'm not doing baseball in this video, I'll just show you. Hey, the Dodgers scored a run. Neither of these teams have a pitcher, and neither does Seattle. So I'm like, what's the point? I don't know who to pick. Well, Seattle, that game's Friday, but these two teams, I believe, both play Thursday. But yeah, I'm pretty sure the Cubs are going to start Boyd, and I have absolutely no idea who the Brewers are going to start. Good talk. So hockey, big slate. These two games are still going on. We have the Bruins and the Hawks. I'll be honest about the Hawks. I don't really want to pick them too often right now because they're not going to be very good, as we saw in the first game. And Boston, like, sneakily, like, their defense is usually pretty good. And I just don't want to, I don't want to advise picking, like, really bad teams. So don't shut up. Yeah. So anyway, now Pasta and Geeky both scored on Wednesday. And honestly, you could take them like every game they play. They're going to be the main focal points on this team. You know, Lindholm's good too. He scored as well. You can like parlay them, I mean, too. I don't have an issue with that. And Pasta he scored the first goal of the game. Don't be afraid to take him for first goal. He loves scoring the first goal of games. He's very good at it. So in this game, obviously they'd be my top two guys. If I had to pick a Hawk, I think a lot of people are probably going to take Nazar. I mean, he's a good pick. Maybe Bedard. The Boston is on a back-to-back, but I don't think it's a big deal, being the second game of the year for both teams. So I wouldn't be, like, afraid, you know. I think, who's home in that game? Boston is. I'm going to do this so I can reference who the home team is. So, yeah, like I said, I'm not going to take any Hawks. I'm going to wait on them till I can kind of get a gauge on who's scoring, or even if they're scoring much, because if they're not scoring much, like the first game where they scored one goal, was it 2 goals? Maybe it was 2 goals. I don't remember, but either way, they just aren't good. So, and I'm a Blackhawks fan, so I'm not biased though. I'll tell you when my teams are bad. Oh, Vegas tied it. We'll see who scored. No way, Pavel got a hat trick. That is actually insane. Wow. Well, I did mention I liked him in my video. There you go. He is a really good hockey player. Let's see something. What in the world? Oh, I'm making the video right now. Someone asked if I was making a video. All right, so now she knows that I'm making it right now, and she'll be like, oh, he's talking about me. All right, so yeah, Pasta, Geeky, fine there. And then if you really want a Hawk, I would probably focus more of like Bernard, Bertuzzi, or Donato. And then Nazar's fine. I liked his odds the first game. His odds are going to go lower and lower if he keeps scoring. So, here. Hiya video. Here. Hiya video. Hi, Titan. Here you go. You're on camera. All right. Next game is the Panthers and the Flyers. So, Reinhart last year, honestly, like, beginning of the year, I'm pretty sure I was taking him to score, and I know I told you I liked Carter the most in the first video, and he did score. He scores mostly on power plays. He scores a lot at full strength, but he scores a lot of power play goals. So keep that in mind with him. So I would rather go Carter over Hagee or Bennett, maybe. I mean, I probably wouldn't go Bennett over Reinhart, but Carter is generally my favorite Panther to pick. And then as far as like higher odds guys, you go like Evan Rodriguez. Seth Jones is, I mean, you could at plus 700. That's not bad. So per usual, you're going to see me like Carter a lot. And then for the Flyers, Mitchkov he was a rookie last year. This kid is really good. Don't be afraid to take him against the Panthers. Travis, also his teammate, the veteran, is amazing. These are by far, you're going to see these guys score a lot. I don't think Zegras was on the team last year. I would have to see where he moved from. But Tippett was, Forster was. So these guys are good too. And I like those odds. Those aren't bad. And then you're going to see this Bobby Brink guy score randomly sometimes. So, yeah. So my favorites here are Carter, and then Mitchkov and Travis Konecny. I don't know. Sorry. I'm going to butcher some names probably. And then I do like Reinhart. I don't prioritize him is what I'm trying to say. Unless oh God. Yes. Oh, kitty cat wants to come in. All right. So let's move on to the next game. If you want to visualize who I like, I'm going to click on these. And then I'm going to say Reinhart last. And these are not parlays. Don't look at them like parlays. I mean, you can, but I wouldn't recommend taking. So hard to predict 4 goals. It's hard to, like, it's almost hard sometimes even, like, score 4 goals in a game, let alone guess 4 people are going to score in the same game. All right. So Red Wings and Canadians. Larkin is another guy I really like a lot for first goal. I also like Caulfield a lot too, which I tried today. I put him on Discord for first goal. But Larkin is a very good pick. So is DeBrincat, the former Hawk. And then what was that? I got all these like bugs in my apartment. Flying around. I mean, these flies. I left the door open this morning and a bunch of flies got in. All right, so Larkin, DeBrincat, and then obviously Caulfield and Suzuki I like for the Canadians. I don't remember who scored in that first game. Elmer Soderblom. What a name. Huh. Okay. Anyway, so this game's pretty straightforward. I like these 3 the most, and then I do like Suzuki. Raymond's a good sneaky guy you can throw in there too, and at the end I'll make a parlay at the end, probably just like a 3 or 4 legger, and then on Discord per usual I will list some on Discord tomorrow. Okay. On to the next. We have the Sabres and the Rangers. The Rangers were really disappointing on opening day. They didn't score a goal. So this is a lot like baseball where you'll pick a guy and then he won't score, but he'll score the next game. And you'll go, oh my God, of course they scored the next guy. Whoa. You're going to cry. And then, you're going to go cry in the corner. And I'm gonna read it all over Discord. Of course he scored today and not when I needed him the other day. So what I'm trying to say is pick him the next game. You can take Panarin the next game. It's not. Don't be afraid. You can take. This guy was terrible last year. Zib. Sorry, he was really good the year before, but he wasn't very good last year. I do like Trocheck and Miller. I do like, especially at his odds. Those are really nice odds for him. So I'll call out like these guys that I really like for first goals if you like betting that. And Tage is the guy in the Sabres for that, and Panarin is the guy on the Rangers. They don't allow, like, you can't pick first team goal, so you have to do first goal of the game. I would probably go Tage over Panarin, but it's a crapshoot. I mean, you could take them. You could take one on each side and hope it hits, and then, kind of gives you that chance. And the odds are usually really good. So if one of them does hit, you'll profit. And then I like Alex Tuck. I think, is that how you say his name? Tuck. And then Norris is pretty good too. But favorites in this game are the obvious. And then I actually like Miller over Zip. Okay, Gracie. She's like wrestling the litter box right now. I don't know why that was so funny. Go outside. All right, have fun. Okay. So most of these games are pretty straightforward. If you do want a longer shot guy, you can go with Alexis, 340. I don't mind that. And then on the Sabres, either Zucker or Rasmus. I'm a little surprised. This Bowen Byram guy is going to score randomly in some games. He's plus 950, but I don't recommend defensive players because that's why their odds are so high. They don't score a lot. All right, we got the Penguins and the Islanders. So obviously Crosby and Raquel, who I had in the last game, and he did not score, but he will score. So he's another guy you can take the next game. And then on the other side, who was that guy? This guy. He scored 2 goals. I don't even know who he is. And he's plus 380. Now, just because he scored 2 goals in the first game doesn't mean he's going to do it again in the second game. So don't chase him just because, you saw, he scored twice. So you don't have to take him the next game. I don't even know who he is. So I don't know. Maybe he's really good. Maybe he will score again. But I'm just saying you don't have to take him the next game. But I do like Raquel. Horvat's great. Anders Lee and Palmieri. I don't know. Damn it. Why do I do this to myself? The Islanders aren't the greatest team, but they are very predictable with goal scorers. So these 4 guys are pretty much going to score every game. As far as their long shots, I don't even know. I think a lot of these guys weren't on the team last year. The names don't look familiar. But the Islanders are very predictable. My favorite is actually Palmieri. I don't know. Someone correct me. I'm going to go crazy reading some of these names. And that isn't even that hard of a name to read. Maybe we'll just call him KP. But I'm going to say he's my favorite in the game. How about that? I'm just trying to see who the home team is. Where are we? I lost the game. Islanders. Am I blind? Oh. Why is it the first game? Oh my god, the Flames tied the game. I was thinking of live betting. Alright. Penguins are home. Whatever. That doesn't really matter. Okay, so these are my 2 favorites in the game, and I also like Crosby and Horvat. Those would be my guys. Alrighty, the Tampa Bay Lightning. This should be a fun game against the Senators. Okay. Who's home in this game? That is the burning question. Tampa's home. Alright, so my favorite Lightning to pick for goals is Point. Kucherov is the empty net king, I believe, still, I want to say, over Ovechkin. Hey, I remembered his name this time. I believe he has the most empty nets in NHL history, so if you need a goal from him and they're winning by 1 or 2, he might score an empty netter for you. Point is fantastic. Jake Gunsel is fantastic. This team is really good. Hagel even. I mean, it's a good team. I don't know if they're good enough to get really far, but we'll see. And then I just saw one that I like as a long shot. Where'd he go? Hedman, 525. That's a nice long shot for him. Another geeky. Why are there so many geekies in the NHL? So, Lightning is a team that you could stack if you like stacking goals. Like you could even just do them 3. You could do them 3 in a parlay. This is like a teammate parlay you could do, and I wouldn't be mad at you. I don't know about game 1. I don't know what's going to happen, but, you know. All right. One guy that completed a first goal parlay for me was Brady Tkachuk. I don't know if I'd take him first goal in a game against the Lightning. I would prefer either Point or Gunsel. Or really any of these 3, Kucherov. Any of these 3 would be good for first goal. It's really a crapshoot. You know, you're guessing. And then it'll end up being Zub, who I actually hit in a first goal once at plus 7,500 odds. Don't ask. Don't ask how I researched that. That was the most random research I ever did in my life. It was against the next time they play the Sabres. This is all I'm going to say. If you remember this and it happens again, thank me. The next time they play the Sabres, take Zub. First goal. You're welcome. All right. As far as, I mean, obviously Tkachuk, Tim was great last year. And then Zetterlund, was he on the Sharks and then he went somewhere else, I think? If I remember correctly. He's a good player. Pinto. But if I were to pick like top guys, it would easily be these 2. Brady for sure. In Tampa, don't be afraid of their defense. It's not anything like they'll let up some goals. So pretty straightforward. I would say these 4 are my favorite in this game for sure. All right, Carolina versus the Devils. So we got Aho. Jarvis is my guy. I always have each team. I have like a guy that I just love taking for goals, and Jarvis is that guy on this team. I love taking him. As far as the Devils, I would say it's Nico, but they're another team that's pretty straightforward. They're pretty easy to guess. These 4 easily. One thing with Carolina is they do have Ehlers now, who came from the Jets. He's really good. So that's going to change things a little bit. I mean, maybe Jarvis will get less goals. Maybe Aho will get less goals. I don't know. So this is one thing we have to pay attention to, are the good new players on a new team. And even Stankoven, like, this guy is great. He's a young kid. He could score 25 goals this year if he really wanted to. So it's one thing to pay attention to. I still like Jarvis a lot. I even like Ehlers, but my top in this game would be my guys, these 2 for sure. And then Meyer is also, I like his odds at 250. Those are nice odds for him. Okay, moving on. The first goal, I don't really have a favorite. For the Devils, I would say Nico. He was really good last year on first goal. I don't really have a favorite for Carolina, though. I'd have to think about that. Yeah. Here's the other guy who has made me a lot of money. I should buy his jersey. Philip Forsberg. He was in the first goal parlay with Brady Tkachuk last year that I hit. Yeah. That was cool. Paid like $5, paid like 550 something. I don't know. I have a picture of it somewhere. I should have pulled it up. But obviously I love Forsberg. And then let's see. So Marchessault I loved on Vegas, but last year on Nashville, he didn't really score much. I'm not saying he's a bad pick, but I would probably just wait on him to see how he performs. He's better with like assists and points. He's really good on the power play, so if they get power plays, he could score. But I don't trust him enough right now to pick him. I do like Stamkos though, and then honestly, the rest of their team looks a little different. Josie's good. Oh, they got Michael Bunting. He was on the Penguins. Interesting. Okay, so getting used to where all these players move to once again. But Forsberg and Stamkos would definitely be my favorite Nashville Predators. And then Marchenko is fantastic. Another young kid who's really good. Monahan was hurt a lot last year. He's pretty good, though. I wouldn't pick him yet. Fantilli was same rookie year as Bedard, and he's really good. And then Jenner was like hurt all last year, and then he came back at the very end of the year, and I think he only scored a couple goals. So he might be another guy to wait on, but he is very good. So as far as Columbus goes, I'm gonna stick with my guy Marchenko, but if you guys have any other ideas, feel free. Nashville was extremely bad last year, and I expected them to be pretty good when they got Stamkos and Marchessault, but they were horrible. So I guess we'll see how they are this year. But as far as goals go, these three would be my favorite in the game. And then if you want a sneaky high rod guy, I'd say Bunting, but it's a new team for him. So it's kind of hard to say. Charlie Coyle, actually. I didn't even know he was on this team. That's interesting. So at 430, maybe Charlie Coyle. Wow. It's weird seeing all these like new faces on these teams. Okay, so we got this should be a really good game. We got the Jets versus the Stars. Right now, my Stanley Cup favorite, if I had to pick, is the Stars. I mean, they got Mikko, they got Robertson, they got Hintz, they got Johnston, Sanguine, Duchesne. I mean, this team is absolutely stacked. Like, oh God, it's so weird seeing Jonathan Toews on a team. And then they have, Sam Steele, and they just have a really good team. Where is he? Is Steele go to a different team, or is he hurt? Anyway, oh, there he is. So, I wouldn't pick Sam Steele, by the way. I just know he's on the team. So, Stars, my favorite Stars, we know, because I said to take him for MVP, which is not going to happen, but it's just for fun. Hey, if he scores 3 goals, maybe it'll just be off to a nice start. Is Johnston, and then Mikko, obviously, is fine. Really like any of these guys, but if I had to pick right now, I'm going to go with Wyatt and Jason, and then obviously Kyle Connor is amazing. You could do a 2-leg teammate stack of these two guys every single game pretty much and feel pretty good about it. I don't know about it against the Stars, but these guys love scoring in the same games. Connor and Scheffley. There we go. I figured it out. And then Velarde's really good. They all, they got a good team. Niederreiter. So this guy is going to randomly score at plus 550. I'm very curious to see how Toews plays. I'm curious to see how many minutes they give him starting out, since he hasn't played in so long. That'll be interesting to see. But favorites in this game are these 4, for sure. It'll be interesting to see. And also, remember, the Jets had they have like the best goaltender in the league. But, you never know. So that that probably is a projected low scoring game. Let's see. The over is 5.5, and it is favored. So, but it is two really good scoring teams. So we'll see. All right, the man that got paid on the Wild, Kirill. I like him a lot, of course, especially against the Blues. First, I forgot to mention my first goal favorites. I would say Marky Mark, and then probably Robertson. Johnson actually doesn't really score the first goal a lot. I would probably say Jason Robertson. Either one of those two would be good for first goal. In this game, Jordan Kyrou is definitely one of my favorites. I like this guy a lot. He's really good. He's made me a lot of money. So, but let's stick with Wild for now. So Kirill, Boldy, Erickson X, good. I like those odds too at plus 290. Tarasenko is new on the Wild. And then, so it'll be interesting to see how Tarasenko does. As far as like a long shot, this is an actual long shot. Well, you can go Hartman, but all the Folignos in the NHL they like scoring. So That might be a decent long shot. Maybe not in the first game, but the Blues are the Blues. So I would say, yeah, I'm gonna go those two as my favorite, and then Jordan, and I gotta go with my guy Robert Thomas. I got to. I mean, the Blues have a lot of. They're another very easily, like, not easy but very predictable team. I'd probably say these four first, and then Neighbors. But they're pretty straightforward. Like, it's always the same guys that score. Now, being a new year, of course, something could change. But I got Dylan Holloway, so we'll see. But love me, Jordan. Love me, Kirill. Should be a fun game. Who we got here? We got the Avs and the Utah Mammoth. So a lot of people are going to be on McKinnon. I still like. I mean, I knew I should have taken Nekas in that first game, but I didn't. Who's home in this game? If the Avs are home, yeah, they are home. All right, so I do. McKinnon's really good at home. He does like everything at home. I mean, he's home. He's good both home and away. But I mean, going straight chalk, obviously you take him, Keller. So my absolute favorite is Gunther on Utah. He's really really good. And this is another team that's pretty straightforward on who's going to score. Oh, they got JJ. I didn't know that. He's new, so I can't pick him yet. Schmaltz, like, these guys score pretty much every. Like, one of them should score pretty much every game. But JJ, I didn't know they got JJ, so that'll be interesting to see. I do like Makar in this game just because Utah. They're one of those teams that just will randomly let up a lot of goals, so I could see the Avs kind of winning this game kind of handily. But Utah is young and they're good, so I wouldn't. It's hard to predict, but the Avs at home, come on, they should win. Okay, and I'm watching the Oilers game over on the side here. So count my favorite. So he's my favorite Utah, Dylan Gunther, and then my favorite. I mean, I'll just obviously we kind of have to say McKinnon is our favorite Av, but if you didn't want to go super chalk, I would go. I'm gonna stick with my guy Valerie. I got to stick with him, but I like Nekas too. So they're neck and neck. Aside from the obvious. All right, Vancouver and the Flames. So we will start with Vancouver. Brock easily. I didn't say first goal. First goal, I like Dylan or McKinnon. We'll just say McKinnon. Whoops. What did I just do? All right. So Brock Balser is very, very good at hockey. So is DeBrusk. It was his first year on Vancouver last year, and he was really good. Pedersen was very disappointing last year. He's very hard to predict. I would stay off him until we know if he's actually going to score many goals this year. He's just one of those kind of frustrating guys to pick for scoring. And then, like, I would rather pick Garland. I would even rather pick Quinn Hughes, and he's a defender, but he's plus 310 because he's a very good scorer for a defender. And I'm trying to see if these like higher odds guys look good. Yeah. So my absolute favorite right now is DeBrusk, and then Brock on the Vancouver, and then on the Flames, I would just say Kadri. They're playing right now. They're actually playing really well. Surprised they tied the game, but I'm gonna kind of wait on them to go kind of crazy on them to know who to pick at least. All right, and then we got Seattle and the Ducks. The Ducks got some new faces. They got Kreider from the Rangers, which is probably one reason why they struggled so much in the first game to score, because they're missing a good goal scorer. And I want to say they got someone else too, but I can't remember. They still have Frankie, my guy. Was it Granlund? Yeah, I think it was Granlund. Thinking out loud. So I don't. I'm okay with you picking Kreider. He hasn't played a game yet for them aside from the preseason. And then Troy Terry, McTavish. This is another team that's like pretty predictable. Carlson. I know it's a lot of names. Frankie, like for predictability, before they got Kreider, they would be these three easily. And then, oh, I didn't know they got Marchment. Oh, he was on the Stars last year. Interesting. Okay. I didn't realize they lost Marchment. All right. Well, Seattle is an interesting team to pick. In other words, I don't really like picking them. McCain is obviously the favorite with Schwartz, but it's not really. Honestly, I like Marchment a lot. I would probably just take him, even though he's on a brand new team. But I'm gonna wait on them to kind of see how they gel together before I pick anyone there. And I don't really like a first goal here, so I'm not even gonna mention it. I wouldn't know who to take. Vegas plays again against the Sharks. Sharks, I know, got some new people too. Yeah, well, they got to Foley last year. They got Skinner, and I feel like there's probably someone I'm missing, but as far as Vegas goes, they're pretty straightforward. You know, Eichel, Marner. Obviously, Pavel got a hat trick, so probably a bunch of people are going to be picking him on Thursday, which is fine. I mean, you could take him. And then Hurdle. You know, Vegas is Vegas. Sharks, my favorite is Celebrini. Very good young player. And then I like Toffoli's okay. He didn't really score as much as I was expecting him to last year, but he's all right. And then if you want, like Skinner's okay, but it's a brand new team, so we need to kind of wait and see where he'll be on the team scoring wise. So Sharks, and they're also probably not going to be very good, the Sharks. So you might want to stay off against Vegas, because Vegas should be a lot better than them. But it'll be interesting to see how they play in that game. All right. I think, how long was that? That probably wasn't even that long. Oh, it was over 30 minutes. Holy crap. All right. Let's make a super quick parlay. We gotta go pasta against the Hawks. Oh, he's got to take my guy, Verhage. So if you just want like a three-legger, you can start with that in the early games. If you really wanted to juice it up, I'm okay with like, you know, if you're going super juice, you know, this is pretty chalky, but if there's anything like that, you can always just take the first guy listed and just like feel pretty good about it. There's a reason why they're listed, you know, first. But I don't like the Seattle Ducks game. I don't like the Sharks. There's a lot of, you could even almost avoid this game just in case it is kind of low scoring, the Winnipeg Stars game. So some of these games like just look kind of meh. We don't really know if they're going to be high scoring or not. That's one of the fears in hockey is like if you pick some goal or points and they get shut out, then you just don't win anything. So that's the, you know, like soccer. That's the worst part. They don't score, then you have no chance. Okay. So we'll call these like a top 5-ish, and then I'll post on Discord tomorrow who I really like. I'll do more research and kind of decide who I like. And same with baseball. So make sure you join my completely free Discord. And yeah, everyone's posting NCAA football chat. I don't know anything about. I don't know college. No. Funky's funny. Funky. Yeah, I do a daily write-up. And I do also check, you might need to check like these other channels, NHL write up. I kind of move around sometimes. Sorry to be annoying. So like this one, we need McDavid to score for it to hit because Matthews and Pasta already scored. So hopefully, and all this is free. I don't charge for this. So, and of course, well, I guess this one to hit anyway. But Pavel was a game time decision, and he scores a friggin' hat trick. Go figure, right? Oh, let's see if he scored a fourth goal. Just because, why not? Eichel scored. So there you go. There you go. Eichel scored. Cool. And we know Eichel likes scoring late in games. All right. Well, y'all have a great night. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever part of the world you're at. Peace.